Hello and welcome to my video. So I was going to do a tutorial on how to do nebulas. I promised to do it when I got enough money to buy a tripod, which is right here now. These are actually really simple. They're so easy to do. It's just, well, they're really fun as well because you can't actually go wrong. So what you'll need is obviously some paper or card. I normally get white and paint it black. I find it just gets better. I have made a mistake here. I should have taped it down with masking tape first and then painted it. But I painted it and then stuck it down. So mine's a little bit bobbly, which isn't a problem at all. It doesn't matter so much about it. It just might look a little bit odd. If you masking tape it down, it stops it moving. You'll need some kitchen roll. Make sure it's actual kitchen roll, not just normal tissue. Tissue will break. White paint, you always need white. The colours you're going to work with, so I'm going to do mainly blue, but I'm going to add in a dash of purple. You'll need two paintbrushes, one that's thicker and one that's slightly thin. For the thick one, I'd use the cheap one because they're not going to last very long. You will ruin the bristles a bit. The thinner one, you can use a decent size, it doesn't really matter. And a toothbrush. That's everything you need, and obviously some water. Mine's a bit black already. It doesn't matter, you don't have to change your water too much, it doesn't matter. The colours blend in, actually works better. So what you're going to start with is you're going to start with the lightest colour. So where's mine's blue? I've got a light blue. You're going to dab from the corner. Just dab it down. You can look up nebula structures online. There are many to do from, but these are obviously the easiest kind. So you want to make it go from one end to the other, anywhere, wherever you think. And all you're going to do is you're going to thicken out that line. I would recommend removing any jewellery that you don't mind, that you don't want to get messy, such as rings, bracelets, anything like that. Also wear clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, because they may get a bit messed up. So you see what I mean about the paintbrush, how it's going. My desk is actually under my bed, so I've tried to set up the tripod as easily as I can to make it easy for your view, but it's also the best place I've got, so I'm not sure how it's going. I'm not sure how the voice is, because I haven't got a mic, it's only my camera one. Dash a few bits around, but they don't have to be solid. This is your base, so go absolutely crazy. You can just splash random bits. Again, don't worry about washing the paintbrush, because I always... You don't need too much paint, so I always try to use what's in the lid. Now, you can decide if you want where your light coming from, or you can just go absolutely wild. So my light is going to be probably at the top. So, we'll make everything a bit darker down here. And then, what you've got to do, while it's still wet, scrub some kitchen paper. I think I left mine a little too long. There's no exact science, because it's however you want it to look, so you add in a bit more in here. Up here. I would recommend lay down maybe a bit of newspaper underneath, but just not the tripod. Underneath, but my desk is where I do all my artwork anyway, so it's going to be messy. When your paintbrush gets a little bit unbearable, just wash it in the water. Use one of these just for wiping your paintbrush. Just to get, you don't need so much water on it. There's no exact science as to where you put it, just put it wherever you want, wherever you feel. It tends to be a bit more colour up the top and maybe a little less at the bottom, but these paintbrushes, I got a whole set for about £1 in, you can get them at any really supermarket or anything. I normally dab with my left hand and write with my right, but because you don't really need control. So, I think that's enough there. Sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do. It's, like I said, no exact science. You'll learn what gets good and what doesn't, what looks better, what works better. I find, to begin with, always work with a set of colours the same, so blues, greens, pinks, purples. I actually started doing space pieces in college. We got briefs that had a word on it, and as long as you could try and link this to the word, then you were pretty much set. And I don't remember what my word was, I just remember somehow I managed to link it to space. My art teacher was absolutely amazed at how I managed to link it to space. He lent me a pair of compasses that him and his grandfather, I think, had made. And I ended up drawing about 100 circles inside of each other and painting each one a slightly different shade. So what was happening was, looking up close you'd see all these colours, looking far away you'd just see this weird kind of nebula thing, which was based off of these. So I did, God, hundreds of these in college. And like I said, not every one of them worked. Some of them were really dodgy, did not look anything like it at all. Others were brilliant, and I actually loved. But they're just fun and relaxing to do. So just splash in a little bit. It's just layers, so you're just blending in. Like I said, doesn't matter how dodgy it looks. Now I'm done with the blue, so I'm going to make sure I wash properly. I am trying to go in a little bit quicker than normal because I don't want to, I don't know if people like to watch a really long video. Some of them take a little while, some of them are really short. So you see there I added some colour in it, pretty much rubbed off straight away. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it rubs off straight away, if it blends in. That's what you want it to do. You don't want any colour to really look too outstanding, too bold. So I'm sticking the light with the light. I need a bit of actual water on there. I mean, I've done some of these that take me hours, I've done some that take me 5 minutes. Depends how many colours you want on, how detailed you want it. So I'm actually going to put some purple up here. Just stick that. In college, I really badly screwed up my left hand. I had nerve damage and everything, so I was told I would have to do things that involved my left hand a bit more than normal people. So I couldn't grip properly, my hands still randomly let go of things. So I did this as a way of getting control back in my left hand, so I used to be able to draw with my left hand. I can write a little bit with my left hand, not so much, but I used to be able to draw pretty similar to my right hand. Because I'd get bored, so... So I've just noticed all mine's going in one direction. They don't normally go like in one direction, so I'm just manipulating it a little bit. I want it to not look so precise. Nebulas never look like they're going in one direction. They always look You can always add in a bit of water to the beat, so they blend a little bit more. But so they always look funny at this stage. They always look, oh no, this one ain't gonna work. Not sure about this one. This one's going a little bit of a mixture of might work, might not. Always when I scan them in, it's always a new perspective on how they are. When you rip up the masking tape, most likely it's going to get stuck. It's going to rip your piece. But don't worry, all you got to do is just trim it down. The masking tape's just there to stop it moving as you're dabbing, to kind of protect your desk as well, although mine's kind of long past protecting. Right, this is my favourite bit. This is the messiest bit. I wouldn't recommend having your phone or anything you like anywhere near what you want. So you're going to get the toothbrush, you're going to get coated in paint. You want to dip it in the white paint, and you want to grab it like that, and you want to just run your finger across it. I normally do this bit standing up, but I don't know if I can with the camera. The closer you do, the more stars you're going to get in that proximity, the further away. And you're going to actually have to get up. The reason I get up is the movement behind. I've got a spinny chair, so all I do is spin. Is the movement behind. I find it just so much easier to see where I'm going. So what you want to make sure is that there's no black bits without stars, because it will look really odd. So along here, in the actual nebula bit, I'm trying to prop my chair up. I want a little bit more stars. That's it. So I discovered this in college when I was doing it with a normal paintbrush, and I was just staying over a friend's, and I bought a pack of cheap toothbrushes for 25p, and I had one in my bag. And you know when sometimes you brush your teeth and it flicks? It just come to me, and I got it out, dipped it in the white paint. My art tutor thought I was absolutely crazy. I started to splash it around, and then ever since then, I always keep a paintbrush in my art supplies. Right. There's paint everywhere. With the little white one, you can add in some larger pieces. Maybe even an actual star. Sometimes obviously there's bigger bits. I wouldn't add in too many big bits, just because it doesn't always look right. So that is our nebula. That's my hands. Make sure you always wash this properly. So this is really the only reason I use a toothbrush. And that is our nebula. So let me see if I can get behind the camera and see what the view is. That is the nebula. I will scan that in and I will put it up on my blog, and you can save it if you want, and you can do whatever you like with it. That is now yours as a thank you for supporting me. So until my next video, I will say goodbye and happy painting.